Okay, children, today's lesson is going to be a little bit different. This is a project I'm going to have us work on for the next few days, and it will turn into a really cool contest. So, what we're going to do first in today's lesson is we're going to find a computer and we're going to go to scratch.mit.edu, located right here. Now, scratch.mit.edu is the home of Scratch, and Scratch is a programming language. Programming is stuff we do with computers to make them do things. You can program websites, program video games, program programs that do all kinds of neat stuff, or make apps. What we're going to do is we're going to program using Scratch. And Scratch is a really cool programming language. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to hit Create. That's the fastest way to get started. Okay, so we got started here, and here's where we begin. We have the window right here, and this window shows what we're actually going to see when we're done with our program. Right now they've given us a little cat here. He is a sprite, and that brings us to this little window, which are sprites. Now, sprites are visual things that we can program to do all kinds of neat stuff. And how do we program them? Well, we program them by writing scripts, and the scripts are located in this area right here. There's all kinds of different scripts. We have scripts that control motion, how things look, how things sound. We can write using this. We can actually make it put color on the page. We can create data and make variables and make numbers and crunch numbers. More about that later. But we can also start events. And we're going to start events, and we're going to do some controls today. And controls are kind of little rules we're going to use for programming. Okay, so I've got my little cat guy here. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to delete him. I'm going to delete him by right-clicking on him and deleting him. And I'm going to pick out a new sprite. Maybe I'll pick one out from the library, or I can pick one out from a camera. So I've got all these different sprites here. I'm going to pick a bat. Okay? A bat sounds fun. So I'm going to click this bat, and I got this little bat sprite here. Now, the neat thing about sprites is that sprites have things that they can program. We're going to start by programming an event. I'm going to say as soon as the flag, and in Scratch programming, the flag is sort of the go button. As soon as we hit play or start, I want him to do something. What do I want him to do? Well, I want him to forever, okay, forever, he's always going to do this, forever, I'm going to control his motion, make him point toward, what do I want to point toward? Well, the only thing I can have him point toward right now is the mouse. And forever he's going to point toward the mouse. And already you can see he's beginning. Okay? But I'm not satisfied with that. I'm going to have him point toward the mouse and move 10 steps. So now when I hit play, I create this little bat guy that's going to follow my mouse. But notice he's going upside down. He's doing all these loop-de-loops. Maybe I want to change how he operates. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to control, maybe, or nope, motion. And toward the bottom of the motion thing, there's a thing that says set rotation style for left, right. And I'm going to put that above the forever. So when I click the flag, the first thing he's going to do is switch his rotation, so he's going only left and only right. Forever, point toward the mouse pointer, move 10 steps. And there I go. Now I have this little bat following my mouse wherever I go. But I want to make this a little bit more fun. Maybe I'm going to check on his costumes. Now, costumes are things that you can add and animate. And yes, you can see this bat guy has two different costumes, one with his wings up and one with his wings down. So I'm going to add a new script. This script is, whenever the flag is clicked, I'm going to have him change his looks, and he's going to go to the next costume. Oh, and maybe I'll have him do that forever. So I can always, the cool thing about Scratch is I can pop that forever piece in, put the next costume in, and if I hit go, oh, check that out. He's flapping his wings, but way, 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 way too fast. Could I slow him down? Absolutely. In control, I'm going to put a wait button in there. And it says, wait 1 second, next costume. Well, now he's flapping way too slow. I need to put a decimal in for wait. So now instead I'm going to have him every 0.25 seconds change his costume. And when I hit go, now I get this really nice flapping motion. Okay, so I've made my game. Well, it's not really a game yet because he's not really collecting anything, is he? So I'm going to add a new sprite. Something for him to chase. And I'm going to pick a thing maybe. Things. And maybe he's a fruit bat. So I'm going to pick an apple. And I can change the size of this apple by using my enlarge or shrink buttons. And I'm going to shrink this apple down so it's kind of his size here. And while it's stopped, I can move things wherever I want. And I'm going to click on the apple and program the apple. And here's what the apple's going to do. I'm going to hit events. When this is clicked, forever if. Well, first I'm going to put a forever, and then I'm going to put an if. And the if is a way that we can make a modifier, some kind of variable, something that will happen. If this happens, this will happen. So I'm going to go to sensing. If touching sprite the bat 1, what will he do? If touching bat 1, he is going to make a sound here, maybe play the sound pop, and he is going to hide. Then he is going to, let's make a score here. So let's add maybe an operator. No, not operator, data. We're going to make a variable, and a variable is just a name for a number that's going to change. And we're going to put it as score. And we're going to have the score change by 1. Okay? And then after he hides, we're going to go to events again, or maybe control. We're going to make him wait 4 seconds, and then we're going to have him show back up again. So right now I've got, when this is clicked, forever, if touching bat 1, play the sound pop, hide, change score by 1, wait 4 seconds, and show. Let's go ahead and play it. Oh, I ate the apple. Notice my score went up. And after 4 seconds, the apple showed up again. Oh, there it is again. And so now I've got a little bit of a game here. But I wanted to reset the score. So I can do that by going back to data and setting my score to 0 as soon as the flag is clicked. Kind of like how we made it so that the bat would only go right-left at the beginning. We're going to make the apple set the score for 0 so that we start over fresh. But now, you know what? Let's make this a little harder. Let's change the motion. How about while it's hiding, let's have it go somewhere. So I'm going to say go where? Well, let's have him, after he hides, after he's changed the score, let's have him go to some place. But we want someplace random. So we're going to go to operators, and we're going to pick a random number from -200 to +200 on the x-axis, and -200 to +200 on the y-axis. So now we've got a neat game where every time he eats an apple, his score is going to go up and the apple's going to change its location. So where's the apple? Uh-oh. Did I do something wrong? What did I do? If touching bat 1. Oh, maybe I didn't have him show up originally. So let's go back to looks here. Have him show up no matter what. There it is. And pop. And 4 seconds later, it's in some random place. And there it is again. We could keep playing this game forever. But let's make some kind of bad guy in this, okay? Let's make some kind of bad guy. And for this bad guy, we're going to make a new sprite. Let's pick on something that's going to pick on our... he's going to pick on our bat guy here. Let's have the bat guy get picked on by a... let's see here. What would be a fun one? I think we've got a dragon in here somewhere. Yeah, we do. Let's have the dragon be picking on the bat. First, let's change the dragon's size a little bit. Make him just a hair smaller. And what we're going to do is we're going to have the dragon start out in this corner maybe. So I put him in this corner. I go to Events. When the flag is clicked, we want a forever in there somewhere. But first, let's have him go to this location. Negative 185, 141, basically wherever he happens to be. Now this uses a coordinate grid to figure out where things are. So let's have him show up there. And then, forever, point toward, not the mouse this time, let's have him forever point toward the bat. And instead of moving 10 steps, because that would be unfair, way too unfair, let's have him only go maybe 3 steps. And let's have it, let's put a forever if in there too. When this is clicked, forever, if, let's do sensing, if touching bat 1, we are going to go to Events. We are going to, let's see here, maybe Control. Yep, Control. We're going to stop everything. Okay? And maybe we'll have it shout something out too. Let's go to Looks. And we'll have him say... Let's not say hello. Let's make him say hello for 2 seconds. But instead of saying hello, we're going to have him say game over for 2 seconds, and then he's going to stop everything. Okay, let's go. So now we got this new game. And the dragon's following me. Uh-oh, game over. And now the game is over. Let's try it again. Okay, I got that. Oh, I got to stay away from that dragon. Stay away from him. Stay away from him. Oh, game's over. We can modify this a little bit by changing the size. We can modify it a little bit by playing around with the variables. The beautiful thing about Scratch is that no matter how you program it, no matter how you play around with it, you can't really break it. You just end up making a really bad game. So you can drop things in, pull things out, whatever you feel like, experiment and have some fun. Okay, so now you go on to Scratch and play around with it, have some fun, and be ready to share. And you share by signing in, and you sign in by doing Join Scratch and putting in a Scratch username and password. You really don't need an email address that I know of. Go ahead and have some fun.